What's up, Internet? It's your homeboy Negamuzu coming at you with my Chibi's tournament report. For those of you who don't know, I go to Chibi's Cards and Games up here in Baltimore, Maryland. Actually, they're in Ellicott City, but you know what I mean. So we had an awesome tournament. Set 15 sneak peek was last Friday, and as is the tradition at Chibi's, after the sneak peek, all the stuff is legal. So it was quite exciting seeing a lot of the new stuff coming out, some partially finished decks. I tell you right now, it was some really amazing fights. I'm working on my baby, Mega Colony. I know you guys haven't seen much stuff from me. When I started, I was broke. Well, I'm still kind of broke, but I didn't have a collection of anything to go off of. I wanted to build Nova Grapplers, but, Twin Blader was stupid expensive. So, this was over a year ago. Actually, just about a year ago. And, well, I got a deal on a bunch of Mega Colony stuff. I originally was planning to build the Giraffe Ride Chain, but when I was waiting for the last pieces to come in the mail, my local card shop offered me a really great deal on all of the commons and other rares I needed to build a machining deck. So I managed to actually build the machining deck before my ride chain pieces came in the mail. Ah! And I kind of fell in love with machinings. Giraffe ended up not working out for me. I still have the pieces. I plan to run the deck with the break ride whenever I get enough break rides. But yeah, anyway, now enough backstory. I love machinings because in order to use machinings, you have to know everything about how your opponent's deck works. Because if you don't, you lose. I don't run the break ride. I currently tech one break ride because I am short of Spark Hercules. Thankfully, due to an awesome trade I made with a guy on the Vanguardians page, the last Spark Hercules, which is an SP, is currently in the mail, should be here by Friday, so I should have it for next week for practice. I'll get you guys a deck profile once the last card comes in. Anyway, so there's one non-machining card in my deck. Yes, I run 4 Quintents. I'm crazy. Go into all of that with the deck profile. Anyway, about the tournament report. First match was against a good friend of mine who was running Silver Thorns. Unfortunately, he was unable to attend the Set 15 sneak peek and was unable to get any of the sneak peek stuff, except for a starter that someone had a spare of, because one of the guys at our shop kind of bought up all the Silverthorn pieces and then didn't show up on Monday. Anyway, the game was pretty intense. It went a long time because he didn't know what my cards did, because I haven't used the deck in a while, because I've been waiting for the support. And the game took a long time. When I say a long time, I mean we started at 6, we ended about 7:15, almost 7:30. Why they didn't call time? Because it was early and people were chit-chatting, socializing, buying stuff. And I'm pretty sure they're going to enforce the time rule from now on. We played best 2 out of 3. The game still shouldn't have taken that long. It was also a fact of I had to ride the break ride because it was my only grade 3 in one of the games. And just my 12k and 10k attackers stop working, and I lose a lot of pressure when they stop working, and some of my other units just don't function properly. So yeah, the break ride really clogs in a machining deck. Don't run it. I've only got one because I have to. If I had a grade 3 searcher for Mega Colony that wasn't machining, I'd just run 7 grade 3s, but I'm not bad. And we don't have a grade 3 searcher. Anyway, I won that game. Round 2 was against my friend Tempo's novelle deck. His novelle deck's unlike anything you've ever seen before. Not going to give you spoilers about that. I'm hoping to get a deck profile from him up soon. And just, it was a great match. It could have gone either way, and it was a really tough fight, honestly. Novelle is not that hard of a matchup for me because I stun the Vanguard booster, stun Bellicosity, you don't get your unflips, I stun the right units, and you kind of just have a really horrible time. And, I mean, yes, I can't guard with zeros, but if I stun your Vanguard booster, I intercept, drop a 5, and it's 2 pass. And that lets me almost totally neutralize Novelle's no guarding with 0 pressure. So yeah, but the other things that make his deck so different are what gave me a really, really hard time. Uh, Moving on, I did win that one. It was tough. Round three, I faced Glendios. Glendios is being piloted by arguably the best player in my locals. And he's really good. He still can't nail down the ratios for Glendios, but he's still a very powerful player, and it was a nightmare. But at the same time, this tournament took place on Monday. On Sunday, I'd been at the shop and I'd been training with my friend who has a lot of different meta decks, and this guy was there working on his Glendios, and we went back and forth. And I have some ideas about fighting Glendios. Haven't nailed everything down, but I knew how to fight against his Glendios. And that's really what mattered. Knowing the matchup helped a lot. Knowing the matchup's everything in Mega Colony. Anyway, after my win in Game 3, there were 2 undefeateds, and we like to nail it down to 1 undefeated before we cut to top. So we had to have another round. In round 4, I played against Crit Minerva. The same Crit Minerva, card for card, and same player, that I played last week in round 4. And he wasn't aware of all the new things that my deck does, or that just Mega Colony is capable of, and completely underestimated my deck. And, well, he paid the price. The fight was interesting, and yeah, with his build of Minerva, as long as I stun his starter, his deck doesn't function. Because he doesn't really run any other Soul Chargers. But he does run 4 grapes and 4 oranges. So if he gets one of them in Soul, he's kind of good. Uh, but anyway, long story short, I ended up squeaking that out. I was in first going into top 8, top 4. We didn't have enough people for top 8. And then my complete and utter nightmare happened. I said my complete and utter nightmare because my first match in top 4, my only match in top 4 this week, was against Queen. You'll meet him later. Hopefully. It's really easy to tell him because he's usually wearing a crown. He's the guy that I trained with all weekend long. He's the guy who owns some form of most meta decks in order to help me practice my matchup. He has been playing me almost non-stop for 3 days at this point. So, yeah, he knew how to take my deck apart. And I still haven't completely ironed out the matchup for Pale Moons. Because his deck has a couple things that normal Pale Moon decks won't have. I can deal with a completely Silver Thorned out deck. His deck features some tech cards that aren't Silverthorn, and most people are like, no, you have to run Silverthorn. Why people say that when they're like, oh, run the machining, the Mega Colony Break Right and Machinings? I'm like, well, these two things don't equate. Anyway, sorry, random rant aside, because, I'm an archetype, so I'm going to run my archetype. But anyway, he took my deck apart, honestly, and we went to Game 3. And in Game 3, he got it. I needed a trigger, couldn't get it. I stunned pretty ineffectively because it just didn't happen. And I had to sit on my Break Ride. I lost all pressure. And then Break Ride turn didn't do anything for me because he knew how to play around it. And he knew how to control the damage to make sure he broke road after I broke road. And he broke road a Luquier reverse, which then allowed him to effectively restand his entire field and give Upright Lion stupid amounts of power in the process before attacking. At which point, I had a bad time. Overall upgrades to the deck. Obviously, I need to get a 4th Spark Hercules, which, as I mentioned earlier, I traded for. It's currently in the mail on its way here, and it's gonna be an SP. SP. Anyway, a lot of its matchups. I need to sit down and play against just about everything in order to practice my matchups. That's going to get really hard and really difficult because I don't know how much you guys know or how much advertising's been done, but there's a really big tournament in this area, the DMV Cup, that is not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. And I really need to be in shape for that. Not like physically in shape, but that would help. But I need to know all of my matchups because the matchups are everything with Machinings and Mega Colony in general. If I don't know the matchup, I will have a horrible time. So, I'm honestly looking to find and challenge someone who is a master of just about every single deck before the tournament. This locals, I didn't face that many masters as it was, which is kind of frustrating. I'm hoping to face more in the future. But yeah, that's me. That's my tournament report. I have a deck profile. I might record it tonight and just say, this is that, or I might not. Not sure, but just want to give it to you. Sorry, it's late. Ideally, I'm gonna want to start doing tournament reports on Tuesdays because our locals are on Mondays, and I want to start coming out with a deck profile or some kind of a blog or rant thing on Wednesday nights. So I'm kind of combining it. I know this video is getting kind of long. It's coming on 12 minutes. Ideally, I'm going to want to shoot between like 7 to 8 minutes for either or a rant or deck profile or, tournament report. Hopefully things get more concise. I'll probably be uploading another video describing some things about Team Horizon, what we are, where we came from, and how we came to be a thing. I know I've mentioned it in some of my videos, but I haven't actually explained it. So, yeah, anyway, rant aside, I'll talk to you later. This is Negamuzu. Peace and out.